Today is Susanne Depperman's birthday, and I'm really happy to be joined today with Susanne. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
And happy birthday.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy. I was born March the 3rd, 3-3.
All right.
So when I wrote my checks out, I thought it was day, month, and year. I didn't know that we were starting to get wacky so fast in life.
You mean to have the month and the day
Yeah,
and then the year? Right. So it works either way for you. That's good.
Well,
I'm 12-2 too, so you know you can't reverse those. There's no 22nd month.
yeah, but at least you're a Christmas baby.
Yeah.
I heard you recently got married on your birthday. How exciting.
As a matter of fact, you were in the roll-in when David Peel did the video at St. Mark's. When Joe and I were kissing, you and Alan were kissing. It was so cute. And that was the whole idea of a wedding, is to bring a community together.
That's right, and it did. It made me closer to the public access producers that
Right.
attended the wedding.
Right.
I feel like they're my friends now. Before, I thought they were just a simple irritation. When I came here to public access TV, leave me alone, I'm trying to get something done. Only help me when I need help. Spoke when speaking to.
Right, right. And you might also be noticing the donate button that we're going to be putting up on the concordiafoundation.org. You want to talk about donations
Yes,
and
also,
why?
again, that address, if you have something that you want access to the airwaves and you're running a business, it's rabbitholecentral@earthlink.net or SuzanneDepperman.com. I am a direct link to Paula Gloria.
Right.
Because I love Paula Gloria, and she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
No. Thank you. Are there any businesses on your public access television
we can
show?
support business, and we can do an in-depth interview.
Right, and businesses can
And we
support
can,
us.
because we're into mom and pop businesses. They're almost all died out because corporate America has come into play, and it's now like we're all on somebody Marriott strings. It's so cold.
Right.
What?
Right, there's no heart to it.
Right. We want to get back down to where maybe when we were growing up as kids, you know, you could let your kids have a wider block radius. Now they've pegged us all into little peg holes. All the males are pedophilias these days, and all the females, the guys are only trying to get one thing. I mean, it's just too narrow of a corporate vision. We need to have a little bit more on the ball.
Right.
You know, and they're all lies and deceits. Even the gym, you know, maybe that person just did.
Keep the number up, because I really want callers. Susie's on a roll.
But everybody kind of knows that we're kind of all lying to each other. And what happened to Grandma and trust and love and, you know.
Look at your camera, Susie.
There's your camera,
The family.
Susie. Right there, right down there.
Yeah, what happened, you know, to all the ranches where the kids would go and they'd all work out together, you know, in a wholesome way and really learn some skills. Like, I'm so proud of the chancellor of the school system really trying to whip that into shape, because in a way, you know,
The chancellor of what school
we need to
system?
also learn, you know, how to treat one another properly, maybe even before math and science. Let's learn some social skills. How do you get out of a bad situation mentally where you're ready to throw a tyrant? You don't want to grow up without good social skills. Maybe that needs to be, you know, kind of
Alan
taught,
wants you to look in the camera.
but not
right
as a
right in the
full
lens.
class, just so that everybody kind of knows the rules and is on the same page.
Yeah.
I think we need social reform on all levels. That's why Paul
Well, I
is
mean,
doing this show every
it's
day.
not, even the nanny show is so popular because those skills are all lost. People are so busy, a two-family, the wife's working, the husband's working, that they forgot how to raise kids. So the kids are out of control and they don't even have the skills. But the nanny, it's common sense to her.
Right.
And those TV shows are, the working class doesn't really have time to watch them.
So what do you think, Alan? Would Deepak Chopra approve of a community message? Or, I mean, he's kind of become pretty corporate, but yet your email list, I remember you started up just emailing to some of your close friends some of the New Age events, right? Isn't that how it started?
Right, that's how it started. So what are you asking me?
Where do you think should be the next direction? Now you've got, can you put the two-shot when we talk to you?
Well, it's happening. Look at what's happening in the Middle East.
With
right?
with the number? Thanks.
Look what's happening in the Middle East.
Okay, what's happening in the Middle East, and how does it relate to new realities?
Well, it is a new reality for these countries in North Africa to take back their independence from dictators who've been controlling their lives. Well, it's happening in those countries as a kind of a world movement of what's possible for us, which we don't have dictators or parent dictators.
Particularly the cannabis cure and marijuana for cancer. That is something you think, wow, even to be informed about it is already a beginning of a journey that people can then make on the internet doing some research, and if they're lucky enough to get a hold of some of the ingredients and to watch what happens. The problem is that the cannabis oil, the high concentration, is highly illegal. And that's why when you're using community television, you're using knowledge to say, do our laws all make sense? Does it all make sense when we talk about somebody in prison? If you calculate each prisoner is valued at $250 a day. That's $90,000 a year. Where is that money coming from? We're initially thinking it's coming from the taxpayers. It's actually not coming from the taxpayers, but where it is coming from is a place that if we look at where it's coming from, we could start to access that wealth for ourselves. And again, I'm just underscoring, we need knowledge to know that that's around.
And another thing about the prisoners, the most ridiculous thing is they all get out. They're usually young men, our sons and daughters, and they all get out, but they get out even worse because they have no skills to get a job or anything. My birthday is today, I'm 52 years old, and it's taken me a lifetime to try to make money in this system, and the kids get lost right out of school. They go through all this school, but they should be doing part-time jobs.
We got a call.
Through school. Why
Yay, caller.
School? It's very hard for the young people to toggle right after they get out of school to get a job. I think while they're in school, part of the school program should be working. You know, working on the craft, because learning and doing are two different things.
Well, that's why Carl Pearson
And I
wanted...
never got the disconnect. I could never really get a job. I could always like to learn.
And you're a good teacher,
too.
too.
Job, they say if you can't, get a job, you end up teaching.
Somebody told me a consultant was like, he was explaining what a consultant was. He said it's like somebody that will tell you 99 ways to make love but doesn't have a girlfriend. Anyway, caller, are you with us? Is the caller coming back?
The caller hasn't come back yet, but
okay.
I think you're on a good roll there. I think Susie's on a good roll, too. I love hearing what you have to say, Susie, since it is your birthday.
Thank you. Okay, here's what I want to talk about. Let's get to it. Charlie Sheen. He got on Twitter, and what happened is I've been telling Paula that's how things my dad says with what's that guy from Star Trek's name?
Shatner?
Yeah, William Shatner. That's how that show got started. It started on Twitter. What happens is when people...
No, it didn't start on Twitter.
It started on Twitter.
Don't argue with me. I'm talking. Anyways...
Well, just getting your facts straight.
Well, no, it is. You can Google it. Because I just did the big screen, little screen.
Star Trek started on Twitter?
Not Star Trek. My Dad Says, that new show.
Shit my dad says.
With William Shatner. What happened was it started on Twitter. And what happens is when you get a buzz, you get a big following, just like an email marketing campaign. So when Charlie Sheen got in trouble, he got on Twitter and started airing his grievances, and overnight he got 1 million followers. He's huge right now. I mean...
Right. What do you think? I saw an interview with Charlie Sheen. He seemed out of control, like very high on cocaine.
You know what?
Not very in touch with reality.
Well, it's the same shit. Basically, what are you going to do? Lock Charlie Sheen up? I mean, what he does with his own body is up to him. But even though it might be very destructive, we don't have the words to tell him why he should do a better path when we don't really have a better path. Are you happy in your life?
Yes, I'm much happier than Charlie Sheen, although he does have some lovely people.
What do you think, Shanti? Is Charlie Sheen, would he benefit from public access? People can call in and say, how are you doing with your cocaine habit?
You can't even run your own life. I'll be damned if you run mine.
I think he's fake public access. I don't believe he's real public access.
It's all about having a following with this new Facebook and Twitter and even an email marketing campaign. That's what it's about. Because you have to drive traffic to whatever product or donation.
People will stampede towards solution.
You have to have a way You know, that's all I can see right now, and I still can't figure out how to tie anything into my...
Caller, is Shanti, you have a thought?
About Charlie?
Yeah, about Charlie.
Just about public access, what it can do that corporate media can't do, because I still think that Charlie's corporate.
He is corporate, and
I think Twitter and Google, like there was a very interesting case before 3 Supreme Court judges a few weeks ago. And there was one attorney named Jonathan Jacobson, I think is what his name was, and he knew of Carl Pearson being the first man to sue Google. But now even the judges, the sleepy people, are realizing what happens when a search engine controlling knowledge has locked things up and you can only litigate with one judge in one court in Santa Clara County. Caller, you're with us, I hope. I so much want to hear what you have to say. If there's a caller out there, speak or forever hold your peace. We've started something rolling that I'll definitely develop.
Absolutely right. It's like somebody's up pulling our strings. We're all marionettes. From the police department, policemen, young, strong, brave soldiers, they don't act individually. They don't have compassion when somebody's marionette pulling their strings. It's just like Google, one person, few people at the top.
One judge, one place in Santa
Clara. And that's why when Grandma and Grandpa raised us at the ranch, a 50-head horse ranch, and all the kids would come, we were all acted as individuals, like the deer in the woods acted as an individual. That's why I think everything's so narrow-minded and so cruel. Where's the what did Martin Luther King say? Content of character. And these government people are, did I turn into Tom Tomasian? Oh my God. These government people are all sucking a paycheck. It's not a lifetime career. It's community service, you dumb bastards. We've got to clean the house.
What a birthday blessing we're getting here.
With a whip and clear out the church. Let the chickens fly. You know that old thing where he went in and cleared that up? Another thing, maybe it's just another matrix. Maybe there's no reason to get upset. Maybe it's all a lie and a trick. Because just like the credit, you know, when the debacle happened, you know, I don't even want to say it, but default on your credit cards. They're not going to take you to debtor's prison and sit in your little Manhattan apartment for 7 years and you'll have credit again.
And you know where that's coming from. It's very interesting. There's actually
the AIG thing.
No, there's actually a place.
And, you know, can we really rip off the Chinese? You know, I mean, they're so indebted to us. If we default on
No, we're
the loan,
indebted to them.
We're indebted to them. But if we default on the loan, what's really going to happen to us? What, they're all going to come over here and hurt us? No. Nothing's going to happen. Maybe it is a matrix. Maybe the government's another matrix. I have no clue.
Can you put it on the 2-shot? Hello, Alan, Shanti, any thoughts?
Yeah, well, we're just trying to get a call there.
Oh, we lost our caller. It's nice to know that people are trying to call.
Yeah, we had the wrong number up there for a second.
Oh, we had the
right number up there.
It's community television.
I love what Susie's saying.
I love it too. I mean, it's a birthday blessing. We're getting a birthday blast. You've wanted this for a long time. Get organized, move forward, be productive.
See,
you know, put your money where your mouth is, right? Shit or get off the bottom. The whole work. Call in if you can. If you get the wrong number, be persistent.
My lady.
Go for the, you know, go for the other number. You know, we'll work it out. 1483. So if there's anybody out there, I know we're probably going out pretty soon unless this clock is really far off.
I just want to give a shout out to Charlie Sheen, and I know guys like you all over. I know Perry Lou Bob, him and his friends all come over. He's a former lawyer that knows a lot of the judges downtown to this day. His dad must have been somebody important, maybe a judge too, and I think his sister might be a judge. Well, anyways, all he likes to do is sit around the coffee table, do coke, and drink with his friends. His friends come over after they're done working, and they all watch the game or a cooking show. So I don't think Charlie Sheen...
They do cocaine and watch a cooking show?
I don't think Charlie Sheen is unique. I think that people across the country are like Charlie Sheen, but in hiding, especially the Wall Street guys when they used to make money.
And he's a caricature of an American archetype that's really trying to express themselves, but in a really out-of-control way, I think.
When you talk, Alan, put the 2-shot because it looks like there's more people,
like
community, consideration, and keep the number up all the time.
It's just like
great.
Lindsay Lohan. She's not unique. This is happening to our teenagers all across the United States.
Right.
They're
I think you're saying something very important.
Thank you.
They're not unique. You're right. They are symptomatic. They are like the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg that shows a total kind of dissatisfaction with a kind of a spiritual void that's happening around America.
Right.
Charlie Sheen has no spiritual perspective. He's just running on empty and driving himself into the ground, which is his choice.
I kind of think that he might be pretty darn happy. I've seen, and I've kind of been there.
If you're doing drugs, you're really happy.
I think you should come on a show with Joe Barton on that topic.
Okay, I'll debate Joe about drugs and happiness. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get something about what is addiction. Because we have some very highly functioning people, and if you really find out what they're nourishing themselves with, you'd be very surprised.
Well, I think the worst part of anything is the paranoia, and the paranoia comes from authority figures and people that want to rock your boat. You can no longer, after a while, have fun with drugs when you're extremely paranoid. And by the way, I am getting pretty paranoid without the aid of drugs, which just shows you how much paranoia is in this society, or possibly how much stuff is in our food supply that won't allow me to be calm and feel healthy because it's a chemical thing. Of course, losing the hormones probably doesn't help, but why won't they let me buy growth hormone like Sylvester Stallone and Suzanne Summers and Anna Nicole? I want to build myself up like the baseball players. And they keep saying, oh, you can't.
Okay, she's talking about Kaya Kalpa, Alan.
They can't say, they can't say, oh, you can't go in the Hall of Fame because you did drugs, growth hormone. But they don't tell you that Babe Ruth and Marilyn Monroe were probably doing crystal meth. So what's the difference? You know, we're all doing, we don't know what they were doing back then. They're not Lily clean.
Right.
We don't know that.
Right.
Let's dig up Babe Ruth.
That is a good rant, Susie. You're good.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Alan, about the spiritual message? I think Susie was also on a roll talking about the importance of building up community TV and knowledge. Is that our knowledge base is the greatest power that we can have.
Well, you know, that's...
And she's saying, you know, you don't even know what Marilyn Monroe was doing and all these other people because you don't have the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, you want to see, is this corporate message really benefiting me? And I don't believe you want to highlight good things and you want to subdue things that are challenging to people, like their addictions and the fact that they don't feel sovereign.
Yeah, we want to highlight the good things. Monkey see, monkey do. Every time you see one of these murder shows on TV, monkey see, monkey do. No one even knows how to treat anybody nice.
So there'll be more people acting like Charlie Sheen then, right?
Well, I'm talking about, look how many murders you see on TV, fake murders. It's all about bullshit.
Before we go out, we have a call.
Where's the love?
I'm so glad to know that you're out there and that you're thinking about this, because Joe Barton says people don't want to watch public access if there's going to be a commercial message. We don't want a corporate message. We don't want a message that's anything that's not local. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Hello there. How are you?
Any
nice to hear you and see you, Paula and Suzanne. I'm Frank Craven with Salem Hill in America.
For this opportunity.
Frank
God
Craven.
bless you
Go
all.
ahead, Frank.
Yay, Frank.
For teaching us how to be more community instead of corporate.
It's very funny to be able to have a live conversation because we're talking over each other and I can't hear you. There's a delay. There's a 4 or 5 second delay.
You have to turn down the television off. You have to mute it.
You're a producer.
And then you have to raise it so we can hear Frank. I hope the viewers can hear better than we can hear.
All right, and now I turned down the
Frank,
volume on my TV
we're going to
set.
strength. Frank, what are you saying?
I turned down the volume on my TV set. Thank you.
Frank, what are your thoughts? You've been a producer with M&N for many, many years. Frank?
Anyways, that's my birthday. 3-3.
This is Susie's birthday bash.
Birthday bash.
And I feel the energy, and I want to go in the direction that she wants to go in. We really want to be sovereign. We want to be self-sufficient. We want to give you a pure message.
I love Twitter, and I love the fact that we can all talk to Charlie Sheen. We can all talk to all the people we could never talk to before. We can find out what they're doing. What Ashton Kutcher is. Even what Obama's doing. If he would just get on Twitter, we can all follow anybody that has a message.
Hello? May I speak to somebody?
Yes, please.
Put my
Hello.
SuzanneDepperman.com.
We're out of here.
We're out. Sorry.
I don't care what Frank has to say.
That was a great show.
I don't care what Frank has to say. Put
I loved it.
my SuzanneDepperman.com.
Here, birthday hug.